This week, I made time for 3 days of fun with Jeff and Nathaniel on a short baseball road trip. I also made time for scrapbooking, and I made time for biscuits.
Last week on the Lazy Scrapbooker's next big project, it was the guy's birthday and we had a whole day of birthday celebrations. And I gave them volume 1 of the album project, 95 completed pages. I selected and ordered a pair of matching album covers to use. I prepared for and taught my power layout class on Zoom, which had nothing to do with this road trip. And I did manage to get almost 10 pages done on the project.
Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker, and thanks for joining me for my next big project. We're going to plan, organize, and create a pair of scrapbooks to celebrate my husband and son's 15-day road trip, their baseball blowout. We're ready for day 12 of the trip, only 4 days to go. It's about 1:30 at night, and no time like the present just to get in maybe a page or two, just so I can keep some momentum on this project. So I'm starting with that first page of day 12. This was the easiest one I've done in a while. There was just one picture, no journaling, super simple. I really like the continuity I've created with these first day pages. They each have the exact same design, a 1-inch frame using one piece of paper that is, of course, double-sided. And this hit the road paper was absolutely perfect because it's very decorative on one side and the other side is more tonal. My next 2 pages are around Camden Yards and just Jeff and Nathaniel walking around in that area and enjoying the sights before they hit the Babe Ruth Museum and then before they went to the game. So looking at these pictures, how they're just kind of varied and they're really pretty, this may be the right layout for my next Savvy Scrapbookers video. This month we're doing Legacy of Love. It's a heritage collection, but it definitely can be used for anything. So let's look at these papers. So these are the 4 I chose, and I knew I was going to use it probably for a museum. Now, do they match these pictures perfectly? It's not bad. It's really not bad. This kind of stuff can be used for anything. Maybe this census paper might be right. A lot of this stuff is historical. I don't know that I want to use this for the next 2 pages, which are the Babe Ruth Museum, because I think I'm going to want to go more baseball themed with that, even though it's looking at, historical images and things. I think this can be kind of cool for just tooling around a city. Before I settle on this, I'm going to go look at the other pages coming up, and I'm going to take these papers with me. I checked out all the remaining pages for the album, and this does seem right to me. This is the best one. And while it might not be a conventional choice, I did want to show that this heritage collection could be used for just almost anything. And I think it will look nice with this. They're really cool papers. I can definitely make this work. But since this is a Savvy Scrapbooker video and not just my own personal album, I am going to wait until tomorrow when I have had a good night's sleep because it's quite late now. And I want to be fresh to do this. So I'm just going to put this back here. And I'll be ready for this tomorrow. Yay, I did 1 page tonight. So here we are at 2 a.m. I'm just going to wrap things up and get to bed. So I know I said I was going to work on the Savvy Scrapbooker video in the next 2 pages when I had a good night's sleep. So it's the next day and it's already 1:15 in the morning. So kind of had a lot going on today. So then we finished the day going to a combination birthday and graduation party for one of Nathaniel's really sweet teammates and friends, and that was a lot of fun. And I've been working since I got back because tomorrow on my Facebook page, there will be a Nicholas Facebook takeover. So while I realize that the whole premise of that is Nicholas is taking over my Facebook page for 24 hours, I'm having to do all the work, obviously. So now I'm going to sit here while I'm wide awake and work on this. But my lack of focus is just staggering. I went upstairs just to restart the dryer because apparently dryers made after a certain decade will not dry your towels in one go of it. You have to do it twice, apparently. But I went up there and saw Nicholas on the couch sleeping, and he was so cute. I had to take a picture. And then I said, oh, well, I need to do a story on Facebook. So that led to me creating a Facebook story and picking out music and doing the title and everything. So that took some time. Then I came back down to the basement and realized I'd forgotten to start the dryer. It's 2:30 in the morning and I have finished my layout and filming my video for the Savvy Scrapbookers. And here it is. The video went out this past Wednesday if you're watching this currently, and you can check it out. I'll put the link in the description of this video so that you can check out how to make this super fast and easy page using the Legacy of Love collection. But I got 2 more pages done. So today I did not get a lot done on the project, but I did get a lot of work done. It's been a very busy day. I edited my Savvy Scrapbooker video, and today was the Nicholas Facebook Takeover Day. Nicholas has taken over my Facebook page for 24 hours. So this is in response to his lack of screen time in episode 16. It's been a full day. He's made several posts with layouts, how to do them, and some videos, all that he is featured in, of course. Nicholas has been very busy, so you know what that really means. But it's been so much fun, and I have loved the engagement from my page followers. I've gotten so many adorable pet photos posted, and the pets have sent messages to Nicholas and made comments, which Nicholas has replied to, of course. But it was a really, really fun day on my Facebook page. So now I'm going to order custom spines for the album. Right now through June 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Creative Memories is doing 33% off when you order 3 or more custom album spines. So I need 2 for this pair of albums, and I need 1 for my Cancun album, so there's my 3 right there. That means instead of paying $10 a spine, I'll pay $6.67. That's a good savings. So I've got an entire video that gives a tutorial on how to create these spines. So I'll post a link to that in the description of this video in case you need a tutorial. But I'm going to go ahead and get these cool spines created here. So the color of the Hit the Road albums that I have ordered is blue agate. And so that's what I'm ordering. And I think the silver foil will be just perfect on that. Black is too dark, and I think I like silver better than gold for this. So I'm already stuck because I want to know what to call these. And I think I'm going to go get Jeff's opinion in this. Do I call it Baseball Blowout, or do I call it the Road Trip of a Lifetime? I think Baseball Blowout, because if I say the Road Trip of a Lifetime, it kind of cuts you off from having any more great road trips. But I'll ask him. Okay, so I talked to Jeff, and he agreed with me that Baseball Blowout was the best title, but then he reminded me, actually twice after I said this, it's 2024. That was last year, and I'm still working on this album. Okay, so 2024 it is. He agreed to have that pretty much the same thing on both albums. And he liked the idea down here at the bottom. First he said volume 1 and volume 2, but then he liked the idea of day 1 through 7 and day 8 through 15. Now that begs the question, is it really going to be day 1 through 7? I know that's 96 pages. I kind of want to go count and see how many pages I'm going to have for day 8 through 15. Let me go count. So here's the stack that's already been done. When I count both sides, that's 36 pages. So I just counted all the pages that I've yet to do, and there are 32. Ooh, 32 pages to do. That's not bad. Okay, I'm just doing a little quick math here. We have 96 pages for day 1 through 7, and for day 8 through 15, we have 68 pages. That is a huge difference. This album is gigantic, and this album is just not that big. So that's a lot. It's a 28 page or 14 sheet difference. So next, I'm going to go see how many pages day 7 was. If I can split the difference, and if day 7 was only 14 pages, that's half of those, I could move day 7 to volume 2, and they would be even. So I'm just going to find that album, and I can't find the album. We've lost the album. We've lost volume 1. Let me go look downstairs again. We didn't lose it. I brought it downstairs when I was taking the thumbnail photos for episode 16. All right, let me count day 7. Day 7 is 21 pages, and it inconveniently starts on the left-hand side. Let me do some math. Okay, so here are the numbers. So with day 7 as 21 pages and 10 and a half sheets, and you know you can't have 10 and a half sheets, so that means it would have to be 22 pages in order to move the whole thing. And that would pretty much add 1 page to each album. So I'm adding another full sheet to the whole project. So over here, if I move day 7 to volume 2, day 1 through 6, volume 1 would be 75, converting that to 76 pages. I'd have to just come up with an extra page, a pocket for memorabilia, which I've already kind of incorporated everywhere. And then volume 2 would come up to 89, converting to 90 pages. So it's really not that big of a difference. I'm basically I would only lose 3 sheets in the biggest album, and the smallest album would gain 8 pages for 4 sheets. So I don't think it's really worth it, but it's weird to have one album that's so much bigger than the other. But I feel like I can't end it in the middle of a day. Or can I? I don't know that I can. It just feels weird to me. Maybe I titled these volume 1 and volume 2 just to be safe in case we ever get them back and go, you know what, let's just switch it in the middle here. I'll just name them volume 1 and volume 2. That's the safest answer. Okay, that took me some time to figure out, but now I feel good about the answer. So I think I've settled on a font, a size, and of course we have volume 1 at the bottom. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to add it to my cart, duplicate it, and then just change this to volume 2. Instead of starting from scratch, duplicating it will save me a lot of steps. Plus, it will make sure that this text is in the exact same place on both albums since I did move that around. So if you're wondering where to go to duplicate that, I'm going to go here to my account, and then I will go to my custom products. And here in my custom products, there is my beautiful spine. So I'm just going to come over here and say duplicate. I'm going to name this one Road Trip 2 and hit duplicate. And so now all I have to do is come down here to volume 1 and make that say volume 2. Very easy. We'll save, preview, looks good. It says volume 2. And so now I'm going to add that one to the cart as well. Now I have 2 items in my cart. And I'm just going to let these hang out there until I need to place an order. But first I am going to add the 3rd spine, which will be for my Cancun album, so that I'll get the discount when I do place the order. I just need to make sure that I do that before June 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. One note, you actually cannot duplicate until you've already ordered the item, because right now all I can hit on is view cart. I had not actually put the 1st volume in my cart yet, so I was able to hit duplicate. So if you are doing 2 at once, just remember that right there. But later on, if you need to duplicate something down the line, that's very easy to do. These custom products stay in your account for 2 years, and then they are gone.
On Tuesday, we headed to Columbus, Georgia for a few days to see the Atlanta Braves Double-A team, the Columbus Clingstones, in their inaugural season. On the first night, we walked from our hotel to the stadium and took in the sights of the Chattahoochee River.
We are here after a almost 1.5 mile walk from our hotel. It is about 90 degrees out here, I would say, and we're in direct sunlight. And I chose to wear my Columbus Clingstones t-shirt because why not? I'm here. And it is the hottest piece of fabric I have ever worn. This is the guys' 40th minor league baseball park they've been to. Beautiful little ballpark. And beyond those tracks, you can see the river over there.
We, of course, had to stop at the clubhouse store for a little shopping. The stadium renovations were fantastic, and there was so much baseball history that was preserved. We watched the Clingstones beat Knoxville 7-6 and then walked back to our hotel, this time enjoying the sights of the historic district. The next day, we drove over to Montgomery, Alabama to see the team that has arguably the best name in minor league baseball, the Montgomery Biscuits. We watched the Biscuits beat the Birmingham Barons 1-0 And of course, we enjoyed biscuits. Back at home, we were reunited with Nicholas, who had been well cared for by his sitter.
After being gone for a few days, someone is a little bit clingy. So I'm back at home and ready to start back on the project. It is 12:30 at night, but it's been a while, so I am going to do 2 pages tonight, at least, just 2. And that will be the pages for their visit to the Babe Ruth Museum. Should be easy. And when I look at my outline, look how far down I am. I'm down here, getting really close to the bottom. I've got a lot of this paper left over, and I've got 2 pieces here that are about 8 inches wide by 12 inches. So I think I'm going to use those on the inside and then just do 4-inch borders on the outside in this red that will look really good. I'm keeping it simple. I decided to mat all the photos because it's on this busy baseball paper and I like the look of that. Then with my 4 1/4 inch red borders, I of course created a built-in photo mat for these on the sides. Then on the left side, I will have a brochure pocket. I feel crazy using this 12 by 5 brochure pocket for this little 3.5 by 8.5 inch brochure, but it'll work. It's clear and you'll see the read through on the back, so it'll look fine. Then I'm going to put the title up here, and I've got plenty of room for my journaling over here. It's a weird configuration of photos. I kind of can't decide how I want it. I think I do just want these going across even like that. I think that will help. And this one I can't decide. Maybe it's just centered up here. And then I'll leave room for journaling here and here. Just for measuring, I've taken the brochure out of the pocket to see how it will look. And there's really not enough room to put on this Babe Ruth Museum. So I'm going to do something out here or maybe down here. I don't know. I've got to figure that out. But I did want to crowd it right there. And I realized I could have used smaller letters, but I just love these collegiate letters. They were made for sports. I'm almost done. I've got everything down and I decided to put museum here in the middle of the left page because the name of the place is actually Babe Ruth Birthplace and Museum. That's a big title. This photo here prominently says Babe Ruth's Birthplace. That is a tongue twister. Try to say that 3 times fast. So I figured I would put museum right here. I think that looks fine. I've got this out of the brochure holder for now, but it will go in there and it will be clear like that. And then over here, I'm going to use these stickers. This was from a really old pack. I can't even remember what it was. They look very old, which is good for this museum. And they look like 2 little tickets. So I'm going to put those right here, but I'm going to wait and make sure I have enough room for journaling right here before I fill that space. But I'm going to wait to print the journaling until I have more to print so I can fill up a whole page because that paper is very precious. I don't want to waste it. What gets me the most when we look at photos of players from long, long ago are their shoes. Look at those shoes that they had for cleats. That looks so uncomfortable and they had to run in those. Here are the next 2 pages I have to do, and these are the first 2 of 4 from the Baltimore Orioles game they attended, which was one of 2 Major League games they attended. So, with the team colors being orange and black, I'm going to go with a lot of cardstock on this one. So, seeing as how it is 1:20 a.m., I don't know how that happened. That time went by so quickly. I think I'm going to call it a night. I've got a big day tomorrow. I've got a lot of deadlines to meet, so I need to get a good night's sleep, or at least just a night's sleep.
Well, we've just returned from our baseball road trip, and this is our minor league trip for the summer. I wanted to say a couple of words about this because Donna went with us. And with the project that she's working on right now being the baseball blowout, she's such a big part of why the baseball tradition got started with Nathaniel and I. Years ago, I used to ask her all the time if she wanted to go to the ball game with us, and she said no, and I wondered if she just didn't want to be with us. And then finally she said, I just want you to have a tradition with your son. And what a great gift, and it was so special to me. That's a big part of where this tradition started. We've been doing this for about 8 years now. Love minor league baseball, had a great experience at both parks. It was really great to have Donna with us on this trip, and she understands now why we love it so much.
I loved being able to go with Jeff and Nathaniel on a short baseball road trip. We had a great time, and I certainly loved being along for the ride. But 5 pages? Did I just count 5 pages in this whole episode? Well, 5 is better than 0. And I got my custom spines created, and they're in my cart along with 3 other custom spines. They are ready to order on Monday, while the 33% off special is still going on through June 20th. So I feel good about that. But this album project is like a marathon, and I feel like I am limping across the finish line. But next week, I'm going to a 4-day advisor retreat here in Atlanta, and 2 of those days are nothing but scrapbooking. The other 2 days will be classes, and I'll be teaching one, so I do have a lot to do to prepare for that. But I'll have at least 2 full days of scrapbooking. So, will I be able to finish it? We'll see. Thanks for joining me for another episode of my next big project. I can't wait to see how much I do get done at the retreat, which you won't know about until 2 weeks from now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.